Well, it's time for another Where is the Media rant again. That's right, folks. The media is just missing on so many crime stories going on across our area that unfortunately I have to make the rare crime video. I used to do this all the time, but it's just so bad out there. And News 12 in particular is just blowing off almost all this crime, except for this. They did speak about this. They cover this. This only got 23 seconds today because, again, it's Deer Park. But there was a fatal shooting in Deer Park, unfortunately. And this was the man that, unfortunately, was shot and killed in Deer Park. And that happened last evening. So it happened, we'd have to go way back in the thing. They've already buried it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Meanwhile, we have major crime going on. Something very, very scary happened in Deer Park, in New Hyde Park, I should say. And it says right here, a female, this is only Laura Uli's covering this. I don't know where the hell the media is on this. All right? Female attacked and robbed in New Hyde Park. Police are at Hillside Avenue and Marcus Avenue reporting a female was attacked and robbed. This is by the gas station in New Hyde Park. The suspect displayed a gun, then took off with items in a Toyota Camry, maroon-colored, towards South Denton Avenue. EMS is attending the woman who was visibly shaking. Now reporting Floral Park police joined the pursuit, last seen heading toward Elmont. So a major story, daylight robbery, armed robbery, and if we look at the comments here, they tell a little more of the story here. It says the woman was trying to call 911 while following the car. Well, he said he was trying to follow the car down Denton. Went back and gave statement. Apparently, the woman asked the 7-Eleven to use their phone, but 7-Eleven was told to get out of the store. That's unbelievable. Actually, that's why I hate 7-Eleven. They're incredibly rude there. A lot of them are like that. So, let's see. Any description of the perps? Let's see. There was another comment here. We don't know where it went. Maybe it was further down here. But this happened, when did this happen? 3:35 p.m., so it was broad daylight. She was walking home from work between 7-Eleven and Golf. The male passenger jumped out and took her bag. Also, a woman in the back seat, and they had a gun. So it was an armed robbery. You're walking down the street, and somebody jumps out of a car and robs you at gunpoint. What does this world come to? This is a major story. This should be the top story on News 12, but it's not, because the people they geared her were sitting pretty in their enclaves. They don't have to deal with any of this stuff. New Hyde Park is under a crime surge going on right now. And so let's take a look and see where this happened. Obviously, I'm very upset about this. This is New Hyde Park, and it happened broad daylight. So Hillside Avenue by Golf. And I don't know where that is exactly. They said there was a gas station or a 7-Eleven around there. So this might be further down the road here, maybe toward the city line. All right, here's a 7. All right, here's a couple of gas stations at Exxon. So it's probably in this area right here. Let's see if we can find. He said by Golf. I don't know where that is exactly. I don't know if there's a Golf Street. I see the streets are numbered here. But it happened in this area right here. Let's see. They said there was a 7-Eleven around here. So generally this area, I think, is where it happened. If I'm not mistaken. Again, we don't have that many details on it. I don't think it happened over here. Let's see if we can find where the 7-Eleven is. And let's see, 7-Eleven. And we'll see where there is one. All right, it said there's one in Hillside, so let's see. Yeah, it's actually New Hyde Park Road. Did it happen over here? Did it happen over here? It said it was by a gas station. So we're trying to figure out exactly where it happened. She ran to the 7-Eleven. But, I mean, this is where I transferred to the 22, right over here. Oh, no. So I don't know where there's a gas station around here. Said it happened at a gas station, so maybe it was down the road. How did she wind up all the way over here if it happened at a gas station? Because the nearest gas station would be... Said it happened by Golf. Well, let me see. We're going to search Golf here and see if anything comes up. Golf Road. I don't know. Golf Avenue. I don't know. Said it happened by a Golf. We can search. We can just put Golf in here and see what happens. Yeah, I don't see anything here. So, oh, Golf. They mean Gulf gas station. That's what she means. That's what she means. Gulf. Probably a Gulf. Somebody misspelled it. So let's see. It's probably a Gulf gas station over here or something. Or it probably might have happened over here, maybe. Oh, that's an Exxon. So we don't really have too much information. This is Sunoco. I don't know where there's a Gulf gas station on a hillside. But the problems from the city are making their way west into the middle of the island. That's what's going on. And that's very frightening. Something like that would happen in broad daylight. I don't know where the Gulf is, unless it happened. I don't know where there's a Gulf gas station over here. Let's see. I think I'm in Gulf. See locations. Let's see. No, not really getting any information. All right, there is a Gulf. Nope, that's not a Gulf. So I don't know. I don't see anything. All right, there is one, 295 Hillside Avenue. It happened over here? It's not even, it's like Williston Park. That's Williston Park. Maybe this is where it happened over here. But still, I mean, this is close to home. No, that's a BP. So I don't know. Like I said, we don't have any information on this except for Laura Uli. So the only thing I'm relying on is something online, basically, to tell me what the details of this, because the news is nowhere to be found. Again, they're nowhere to be found. Oh, here we go. Of course, the South Shore. It's like, the rest of us just don't matter. It said between 7-Eleven and Golf. So that's what they're saying right now, between 7-Eleven and Golf. So let's go back to where that 7-Eleven is, which was over here. Let's go back over here. So it said between 7-Eleven and Golf. So it sounds like it happened right over here. Because here's the 7-Eleven. I don't know where Golf is, but it happened in this area. This is where I transferred to the 22. It's dead here at night. Have this happen during the day is just unbelievable. Where's the damn media? They don't care about us. We're completely forgotten. That wasn't the only crime that happened. There was a shooting in Wyandanch today, too. Male shot at a gas station in Wyandanch, BP gas station. One person shot straight path in Jamaica Avenue in Wyandanch. EMS transported the bullet victim. This occurred during a robbery, 7 a.m. this morning. Why is the news ignoring this, I said? Because, I mean, where is this happened on Straight Path and Jamaica Avenue? So let's go to that area now. I mean, the middle of the island is under a crime siege, and the snobs at Channel 12 and the snobs running our government could care less. And yeah, they are snobs because they don't care about us. All right, so Straight Path and Jamaica Avenue. Probably in the heart of Wyandanch somewhere, probably over here. Jamaica Avenue. Brooklyn Avenue. There's Jamaica, yeah. So it happened not too far from the train station. And this is a very dicey area. There's a lot of crime in this area. It's very, very dangerous. But you can scroll down. There's even more that happened. Heavy police activity on Jamaica Avenue. Another drive-by. This was in Skidmore Road in Bayshore. That was the Deer Park shooting. All right. At News 12, quickly buried. Armed robbery at a gas station in Fresh Meadows. And then there was police activity in Mineola, too, because there was a person that was there that the police were looking for that was unfortunately suicidal. No, they're saying it was a break-in. So we don't know. There's so much crime going on. This happened in Fresh Meadows, armed robbery, gas station. And the crime is just going from the Queens into the middle of the island. It doesn't go to the South Shore. No, because they're important down there. They get to be protected. Well, the rest of us get to deal with all the problems. It's ridiculous. So let's go to the Daily Voice now. This was the shooting that happened in the park at the gas station in Wyandanch. So Daily Voice does have something on this. 32-year-old man injured in shooting in Wyandanch parking lot. Officers responded to a report of shots fired in front of BP gas station. 15-1. So it was actually 5:30 a.m. All right. Well, that's kind of in the middle of the night. Gunshot wound. Luckily, he survived. But this was fatal here. That murder there in Deer Park was fatal. And IDs released. This is the person. This happened. An injured man at Triple J, which was a body shop. And this was in Deer Park. And this was at this area right here in Deer Park. So Skidmore Avenue and Bayshore Road. So if we go to the maps, you'll see over here, Skidmore Avenue and Bayshore Road. Here's Bayshore Road right here. And Skidmore Avenue is right around over here. Here it is, right here. Skidmore Road, I should say, right around here. So this is the area it happened in. It's not a very nice area, as you see here. Pretty run down, very industrial. But this is what they're turning the whole middle of the island into, is an industrial wasteland. So yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what all of this is all part of. You know, all this crime going on. It's all part of this. It's all part of the plan to drive us out. The only areas that are going to do okay are areas we're not allowed to live in. That's how it happens. That's an old news story. Somebody was arrested with that. Catalytic converters. That's another thing that's a big problem here on Long Island. And the middle of the island is getting hit the hardest on that. I actually shared some statistics for you. Let me get those statistics on the screen. So showing you, this is the post I made here about it, and you see here, my precinct has the highest number, the third precinct in the middle of the island. We have the highest number of catalytic converter thefts, all right? And we have another picture here also that shows, again, there's that 279. I don't know if you can see that. I have no way of making it larger, but there's the 279, and you can see the middle of the island is the third precinct. Lowest is on the North Shore. But the South Shore is doing much better than everybody else. Everybody's had a big increase in it. But, again, the middle of the island has the highest numbers because, again, we're the middle of the island. We get the worst of everything. The South Shore gets the best of everything. We get the worst of everything. All right? This is another shooting in Wyandanch, actually, that happened on South 27th Street and Garden City Avenue in Wyandanch. It happened around 1:45, broad daylight, and nothing on the news. I mean, the city stations don't cover it because they're city stations and they gear mostly the city. The Long Island station, we only have is News 12 Long Island, which doesn't care because they're gearing a bunch of snobs in their enclaves, living it up and oblivious to this. They don't care. This is a shooting in broad daylight, South 27th and Garden City Avenue in Wyandanch. Let's go to the map and look for this one now. South 27th Street and Wyandanch and Garden City Avenue. So this happened a little further west. This actually is not very far from Pine Lawn, which happens to be right over here. Look at that. And right across the street from this area where I used to walk, but now it's not safe anymore to go over there. All right? So this is South 27th Street and Garden City Avenue, right over here. Broad daylight, 1:45 p.m. Where the F is News 12? I mean, it's obvious that they don't give a crap about people of color on Long Island, and they have their fake interest. Oh, we care about people with color. No, you do not care. Let me show you who News 12 gears to. All you got to do is look at the advertisers that advertise on News 12. Bentley Business School. I know it didn't come out too good, but that's as a force of business, a force for good. No, it's a force for greed. Bentley Business School. It's one right there. And then, hold on, let me go over here. Invesco, QQQ. That's another one that I see all the time. Again, this is who they gear to. These white finance professionals, investors, bankers, stockbrokers in their enclaves. They don't care about the crime because they're not affected. Where people of color in the middle of the island have to deal with all this crap and treated like crap. Get all the problems, get all the creeps. We don't get any of the investment. We have our businesses all closed all over the place. All right? That's what we get. All right? But they're taken care of. And, of course, they've done great on Wall Street. This was yesterday. It did go down a little bit today. But, I mean, it's just, they're continuing to do great. All right? It's all about banking. It's all about finance. That's all this TV station gears to. They don't care about the suffering going on with the crime and people living in fear in the middle of the island. They don't care about that. They don't care about that. They'll cover that. That happened years ago. But, of course, they got the new normal, which I don't even want to show. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. So much national news here. And they spent so much time on Aaron Judge getting his 60-second home run. Of course, they're Yankee fans. The snobs love the Yankees. We know that. All right, we know that already. So they just don't want to. And then this again, crime just gets a passing mention. 28 seconds. Why even bother covering it? Not even sending a reporter. I mean, it's unbelievable how we are just forgotten here. And that's why I make this video. And of course, when I find out more information about what happened in New Hyde Park, I will share it with you. We have an article, and when it comes out, because if this happened where I transferred the 22, this is going to make me think twice about transferring. It's not even safe to take the N25. I didn't even tell you what happened to me last week on the N25. So we also have this accident. Old Country Road closed in Mineola. All lanes closed on Old Country Road in Mineola. Multiple vehicles by 3rd Avenue, and I saw it when I was on the bus. This is by, let's go ahead, get out of this, and we'll show you where this is. Google Maps doesn't even have the decency to list that the road is closed, but it is, because it is closed over here. This road is closed. They had a bunch of police officers blocking the road. They said by 3rd Avenue. Okay, so this is actually over here, but I saw the road, a whole bunch of police activity down here. And you can see there's a bunch of red over here, but there's no actual closing. But something happened. Something happened over here, too. So we're forgotten in Mineola. Oh, that's right. And that brings me to what happened last week, the unfortunate suicide that happened that got no news coverage at all. So very, very little news about this. And again, it was only Laura Uli that reported on it. Hold on. They make it so hard. So this is what happened. NCPD are at the Mineola train station. This happened on September 29th. Somebody found a dead body at the location. This was in the parking garage. So this is the intermodal center, where the buses go under. Heavy ESU at the scene, and they said there was an officer complained about an unusual pileup at the spot and then discovering the body. Well, unfortunately, from what I read in the comments, one of the students at Chaminade unfortunately took his own life at the parking garage. We still don't know how. This happened in the morning, and again, this was completely ignored by the media, and this is very sad news. So in memorandum, this young man right here, it is with deep sadness that the Chaminade family announces the passing of senior Matthew Caridilis. The arrangements are as follows. So the funeral was today in East Northport, and yet nothing, no mention for him at all. Very sad news. But this is what I heard. It was involving this young man right here, and very, very sad. My heart condolences go out to everybody, all the students, as well as the family and everybody. It's a horrible thing. Somebody killed themselves, and nobody was there to stop it. But again, there is nobody around in Mineola, and if there were people around, maybe this young man would still be around today. But because Mineola is deserted most of the time, this young man unfortunately lost his life, and it's very sad and very tragic indeed to hear about that. So I wanted to talk about that, and again, we had I had to go back into Laura Uli here. Clothes robberies on Hillside Avenue here. People are actually getting robbed of their clothes by homeless people. All right, there's so much stuff going on that the mainstream media just wants to cover up. They don't want to talk about it. And then there was also an armed robbery at Dunkin Donuts. New Hyde Park is getting very dangerous. Jericho Turnpike and Covert Avenue. Armed robbery in the morning of Dunkin Donuts. So New Hyde Park is getting very, very dangerous. Yeah, I don't feel safe there, and that's what we're going to talk about next in this video, because I want to talk about what wound up happening to me. So this was the Dunkin Donuts by Jericho and Covert, which happens to be very close to, again, where I transfer. I don't feel safe transferring here at this spot anymore. So let me tell you what happened to me last week while I was riding the N25, and I'm going to tell you about it. So I was on the N25, took it from Lynbrook. Everything was fine until we get to Franklin Square. I guess right around maybe this area right here. We pick up these 5 young men who got on the bus, swagger walking. They looked like they were up to no good. They got on the bus, walked past the driver, didn't pay. The driver didn't say anything because she was afraid. And they sit in the back of the bus. And I was actually sitting in the back of the bus. But I had to move to the front because I wanted to get some air from an open window. All right, so whatever. I had to move to the front of the bus. And so I'm getting off the bus, and I usually get off the bus, and then I transfer over here to the N24 to go back to Mineola. All right. So I get off the bus, and I get off the bus right over here. All right. And, I usually go, and then I catch the bus, the 24. I take a seat right on that bench right there. And I was worried about those people because they were still on the bus when I got off. But when I got off the bus, I didn't see them right away. So I went to sit down, and then sure enough, the bus, whatever they come off the bus. I see them walking, and they hang right around over here. And I'm like, they're going to wait for the same bus I'm getting on to Mineola. And these guys look like they were up to no good. I mean, they look like the kind that could jump you and rob you. So I got out of there so fast. I was so freaked out. I mean, because they didn't pay on the bus. They're swagger walking. They're up to no damn good. And so I just, that's it. I'm just going to walk all the way home. I was so pissed off. I walked all the way home. I think this was the day after I wound up going to New Jersey. I think so. It was last Friday, I believe. Was it last? I don't know. No, it wasn't in New Jersey. I don't remember what day it was, but it was last week. It happened. All right, and I was just furious. And I was just so mad because I was on the South Shore. Everything was great. The minute I get to the middle of the island, I got to deal with these damn creeps. The middle of the island, always got to deal with them. All right, the South Shore is fine. It's safe. I rarely see any problems. But no, I come to the middle of the island and I got to deal with all these damn problems. All right. And the South Shore's fine. I mean, it was such a nice evening tonight in Bellmore. This is why I go to the South Shore every day, because I don't feel safe in the middle of the island. All right? Look, there's traffic on the road. That's Bellmore. We'll show you Rockville Center. Even though the weather sucked and it's actually Yom Kippur, still a decent amount of people on, traffic around, people walking around. Looks, you got traffic on the road. Here's another nice picture of a nice apartment building there. Look nice and clean. Everything's taken care of. Nice and clean. All right. Everything looks great. You have people walking around. They're not swagger walking. They're dressed in normal clothes. They may be a little preppy, but yeah, I'd rather be around that than be around people who are a direct threat to my well-being. All right. I'd rather be around that. All right. So yeah, RVC's doing nicely, but then it's back to Mineola where it's deserted. There's no one around, no traffic. The only people that you see are swagger walking up to no good. It's dark. It's just depressing here, man. And then I got to deal with the trash. Yeah, this is what I had to see the other day going out on Monday. Yes. See that? A rat got in there and chewed the trash. This is what I got to deal with. I can walk in Rockville Center where it's spotless and you could literally eat off the sidewalk, and then I got this where I live. So it just goes to show you the dichotomy and what's going on. Oh yeah, there's this too, by the way, as well. So yeah, that's somebody threw a garbage bag in my in the door next to my basement. And look at the rats and look at what they did. This is how I have to live. But some people think I don't deserve any better than that, apparently. Some people think I deserve to deal with this nonsense. All right? And, of course, they care on the South Shore about cleaning up their parks. Mill Pond cleanup of the Bellmore Library in Wants. That's great. Nobody ever cares about cleaning up the Pine Barrens because they're in the middle of the island, and the middle of the island is forgotten. Doesn't count for anything. All right? This is what we're up against. All right? And it's all because of this governor right here. She doesn't care about the crime going on. The crime in the city is even worse. I go to 1010 Winds right now and show you all the crime going on in the city here. MTA bus drivers spit on. I share so much stuff going on here. Man charged for shooting a victim in leg during dispute. Man fatally shot. All right, so here they are covering some of the stuff, but they're still not covering what happened in Hyde Park yet. So see, hopefully they will cover it, and I'll be able to bring this to you. All right, but I mean, Kathy Hochul, she doesn't care. I hate these fake progressives. Oh, we're fit. We care about. Meanwhile, all their sponsors are all corporate. They're all corporate, just like Riders Alliance. Just look at all the corporate sponsors they have. Yeah, we're going to get to that now. Take a look at this. So this is Riders Alliance, and there are MTA board members going there. My friend Charlton from Passengers United has videos that I will share of this. But, look at all JC. You see all these a lot of these are real estate firms. All right? I mean, that's what they are. They're real estate firms. Finance. Look at who they serve. That's what Ryder's Alliance serves. But that's what the MTA board cares about. That's what our elected officials, and it seems like, especially on, we don't know about the Republican side, but I can tell you on the Democratic side, Jamani Williams was there, MTA board members are there. Ryder's Alliance, they are against more police in the subway. They're against, they favor bail reform, because they want to drive us out. That's what it's all about, driving us out of New York. That's what it's all about, and that's what she and all her cohorts want to do. All right? Same thing with Eric Adams, on the plan too. Not doing a damn thing about the crime, running his mouth about it, not doing a damn thing about it. All right? Because he's there to serve Wall Street too. He doesn't care. All right? He doesn't care. He's more concerned about all these people being sent here from Florida and Texas, and he's more concerned about that than about taking care of the law-abiding citizens of New York City. What a disgrace you are, Eric Adams. What a freaking disgrace. And then I get to Bruce Blakeman. All right, he's a Republican. But guess what? He ain't done anything either. He loves photo ops, but when it comes to actually getting police on the streets, I understand maybe your hands are tied with the bail reform. I understand that. But you know what? You need to get police on the streets. We need more patrols in Nassau County. I don't see enough patrols on the streets. All right? Maybe even that would be, I guess the governor would need to do that, and that's the problem, of course. But he ain't doing enough about the crime. He runs his mouth, blames Hochul. All right, that's all well and good, but what are you doing about it? You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything to protect us. Same thing with Pat Ryder. He ain't doing anything either. They're only looking out for the South Shore. Everybody's looking out for the South Shore, and no one is looking out for us. All right? It's just unbelievable. Will Lee Zeldin be any better? We don't know, but I have to vote for Lee Zeldin. All right? I have to. Because he is putting the crime crisis first and front and center in this state. The crime crisis is designed to drive us out of New York. Because only a certain demographic, only those white finance professionals in their enclaves on the North and the South Shore. Bottom line is, these are areas that you have to be rich to live in. And if you're not rich, well, then you're not allowed. And you have to deal with worrying for your safety every time you set foot outside your door, or even worrying for your safety in your own home. All right? Because these criminals are being let out on the streets. All right? Because Governor Hochul has closed prisons. The prisoners have been let out into our communities. No, not their communities. They're sitting pretty in their enclaves. No, they're in our communities. We're the ones who have to deal with these swagger-walking pieces of garbage who should be sitting in jail instead of terrorizing our communities. But no, you're not doing a damn thing about that, Governor. Well, she is an elitist. She doesn't give a crap about us. Same thing with you, Chuck Schumer. These are what you call limousine liberals. That's why I'm making this video, because I know a lot of people, staunch Democrats or whatever, I understand how you feel, man, all right? But you have to vote for Lee Zeldin. You have to vote for Lee Zeldin. He's the only one that's going to take care of this crime situation. Hochul will be a certain end to New York State as we know it. All right? And he's been all over the news talking about it. All right? And Zeldin doesn't even have donor meetings. All right? We need Lee Zeldin to be our next governor in New York. All right? I know some of my viewers are against it. Whatever. Look, we have to stop Hochul. He is our only chance to stop Hochul. I'm not thrilled with his support of Trump. I'm not thrilled with some of the things that some of the things he's associated with. But you know what? He is a much lesser evil to deal with than Hochul. All right? And I think he'll really do something about this crime situation. He's made that his campaign promise. All right? All right? And he doesn't actually have a lot of Wall Street connections. The governor is much more connected to Wall Street. Hochul is much more connected to Wall Street. And you got to remember, his lieutenant governor is openly gay. And she's somebody of color as well. So I think Lee Zeldin should be the next governor of New York. And I hope, reading these crime stories, because if he doesn't win, then if I can't get down to the South Shore, I'm out of here. Because it's not going to be safe here. So please vote for Lee Zeldin. I urge you to vote for Lee Zeldin. All right? We have to do it to save our state. All right? Because the crime is out of control in New York right now. And my computer is just frozen. But the crime is out of control. Stuff like this. I mean, it's ridiculous. The problem with Bruce Blakeman, he's just there for photo ops. That's the problem with him. I really wish you'd stick to your word about doing something about the crime. Get the police on the road, patrolling, constantly patrolling. And yes, just because there's bail reform doesn't mean our cops can't stop, question, and frisk people who are up to no good, because we need to do it. At least send them a message that you swagger-walking pieces of garbage are not welcome in Nassau County. That's what you should be doing, Bruce. So that's it for this little rant. Thank you for watching. Have a good night, and, of course, please be safe out there.